student member session. I'm Denise Albee. I'm currently serving as KNA student liaison and CANS consultant. KNA staff, I think Dell and Madison, our executive director, and Sherry Chandler are here with us too. Before we get started, I'm excited to share that we will be giving a $40 Amazon gift card away today, and the winner will be announced at the end of the session, and you must be present to win. At our first session, we talked about why join. It encouraged everyone to become familiar with the Code of Ethics. Provision 9 in the Code of Ethics makes reference to the importance of belonging to our professional organizations. Was anybody here at the first session? If you were, would you mind just putting something in the chat box if you were present or not? Okay. Today we're going to be talking about stress management. We all know that as nurses, we're responsible for the health and safety of others. So provision 5 of the Code of Ethics takes this a step further and states that we have a duty to take the same care of our own health and safety and seek a work-life balance. Stress management seemed to me like to be a timely topic for this session since the holidays, finals are coming up, and some people kind of tend to get stressed out during finals and also during the holidays. So we really thank you, Dr. Leanne Walmsley. She's an assistant professor at UK College of Nursing, taking the time to speak with us on this topic. So I'm turning it over to you, Leanne.
All right, so I guess the first thing that I would like for y'all to do, if you can, is if 0 is no stress at all, you're good to go. 10 is I am stressed out of my mind and don't even know how to register my stress. Put a number in the chat box and tell me where your stress level is. So I've got a 7, a 9, 7, 7, 9, 8, 9. Okay, I am Leanne Walmsley. I am the Assistant Dean of Wellness and Wellbeing here at the College of Nursing. And sadly, those are the numbers I get from all of my students. Occasionally, I have a student who will give me a 12 out of 10. But I find that most students really do sit at a 7, 8, or 9. And that's a really high number. It's a really high number to live with on a sort of general basis. But I find that nursing students, generally speaking, do that. So the next thing that I want you to type in is, where do you feel your stress in your body? If you all are a 7, and 8, and 9, and that was all pretty high, where do you feel it? When you all say you're stressed, what do you feel? My brain, okay? So my brain feels stressed. Stomach and mind. Yeah, my stomach cramps when I'm stressed. Anybody else? Most people feel stress in their necks, their heads, their face. I like my brain. That's kind of an interesting one. Well, this is not really going to work for those of you who are driving, but I always open with a breath. I always open with a mindful moment. So for those of you who are sitting down, we are going to start with a mindful moment. And for those of you who are driving or walking, what I would ask for you to do is just pay really close attention with your senses to what you're doing right now. That's another form of mindfulness. You just pay attention to what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're smelling, what you're tasting. So for those of us who are able to sit down somewhere, I'd like you to find a comfortable position. And interestingly enough, that comfortable position, either standing or sitting for meditation, is with a pretty good posture. So I want you to sit up, put both feet on the floor, open your chest kind of by pulling your shoulders up and then pulling them down. And just notice how you're breathing. If you're like 95 people out of 100, you're breathing from your chest. And what I want you to do is start taking really deep belly breaths. So take a deep breath in through your nose and then exhale slowly through your mouth. And take another deep breath in through your nose and then let it out through your mouth. Breathe in. And on this exhale, let go of any tension in your shoulders, your jaws, or your hands. Bring your attention to your feet touching the ground and feel the support beneath you. Notice the rhythm of your breathing without changing it. Imagine each exhale releasing any stress or worry, and each inhale bringing in calm and balance. I would like for you to silently think of these affirmations. I am here in this moment. I release what I cannot control, and I focus on what I can control. I am capable. I am strong. And I am worthy of caring for myself. I would like for you to imagine a warm light beginning at the top of your head. And as it moves down through your body, it melts away tension and leaves behind a feeling of calmness and peace. Let this light fill you and energize you. Take a final deep breath in, and as you exhale, wiggle your fingers and toes. And think about carrying this sense of calm with you as you move forward. I would like for you all to think about what kind of practical strategies that you can develop. I call them tiny habits, small habits, both for your personal life and then also for your professional well-being. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. Or it'll get figured out surely. Yeah. So you need to stop and think about where you feel your stress physically, how you experience it emotionally, and what it actually creates in your mental ability to process information as a nursing student. So type in the chat box what kind of stress you have that's positive stress. What stress motivates you? So I try to exercise a little bit every morning, and I do a little bit of Pilates, I do a little bit of yoga, I do a little bit of arm exercises, and I have to have a little bit of energy to do that. I have to have a little bit of energy to give this talk. I can't come in here and just be like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens, you know. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If my PowerPoint, you know, If I can get it up, it's okay. If I can't, it's okay. Eustress, you need a little bit of positive energy when you take an exam. You need a little bit of positive energy when you take care of your patients. The negative stress is what is important for you to learn how to manage. In nursing, it's just a lot of emotional labor to take care of people, long hours of thinking and being responsible, high stakes decision making. As a nursing student, some of these translate to your studying, your long hours of studying, your long clinical days where you're taking care of people, and your exams. I don't think I've talked to one student who's like, oh, I've got an exam tomorrow. I'm so excited. I can't wait for my exam just to show how much I know. I usually have my students so debilitated when they're taking exams that they can't even remember what they know. So I would invite you to actually identify what your own personal signs of stress are. How do you know when you're stressed? Is it your stomach? Is it your head? Do you have headaches? Do you have trouble sleeping? Um, do you just have this over sense of being overwhelmed? Do you ever get irritable? Like you just like everything hits you wrong? Or are you kind of a person who withdraws and just can't concentrate? It's a really important part of your self-care to be self-aware and to identify, because if you do not learn to manage your stress and take care of yourself, you are really going to have problems with your personal health. You just won't feel good. This leads to burnout, kind of a melancholy, no energy. You just don't even want to go to work anymore, don't even want to go to school anymore. It can actually contribute to patient errors and just in general, you not being satisfied or enjoying your school or your work anymore. The biggest self-care priority, if I could wave my magic wand and get you all to do one thing, it would be to prioritize your sleep. I have a chime that goes off every night at 9:45, and I have a bedtime ritual. I am in bed by 10 o'clock, and my room is quiet, lights out, no phone, soft music, kind of a ocean sort of sound. And that's been a real priority for me. It's caused a lot of issues personally with family, with friends, because people are always like, well, why don't we stay up tonight? And I'm like, no. Or we'll be in the middle of a movie and everybody's like, oh, it's only got an hour to go. And I'm like, I'm going to bed. I don't do this. I don't stay up past 10. I can't remember the last time I was ill. Um, I think if you all would prioritize your sleep, you would actually find that your health and well-being would improve in a very short period of time. 1 cup of caffeine a day or one serving of caffeine a day, there's actually some evidence that 1 cup of coffee is good for you. But if you're a kind of person who drinks caffeine all day long or uses caffeine to stay awake to study longer, that's not a good idea. And it really is important for you to eat some relatively healthy food. And I'm just going to say, in general, avoid processed foods. Try to eat some fresh food. It takes work to plan your meals, but it's important. And the evidence now is that we need 50 to 60 minutes of activity 6 to 7 days a week. Stand when you can, walk when you can, take really short walks all day long. If you've got a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or some kind of a pedometer, 10,000 steps a day is what they recommend. I learned the very first year I started practicing nursing, before anybody ever talked about breathing or mindfulness. I don't even think it was on anybody's radar back then. it was in the 70s, and every hour on the hour, I would go somewhere and breathe for 1 full minute because I was so overwhelmed trying to take care of patients and trying to figure out if I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I became very skilled at acting and being proactive rather than reacting. Being quiet, being very still for a few minutes a day is important. Quiet your minds down. You can do some body scans, just very quickly checking out where you're holding your tension and just try to breathe into that and just kind of let the tension go. Organization is always going to be a big part of your life as nursing students. You need a priority list. There is evidence that if you study your material every single day for a short period of time, you retain 90% more information than if you study in a big block of time right before the test. You don't retain your information. And the further you get in nursing school, the more you're going to get application questions, which require you to understand your material. If you can get somebody to help you, you can get somebody to support you. Delegation is always going to be an important part of life, both personally and professionally. You don't have to do everything all by yourself. I have a course called Restore, Recover, and Reason for students who failed to progress or who had to take a step out for whatever reason. And one of the number one things I teach them is to take a 5-minute break every hour. If you are studying and you study any longer than 20 or 30 minutes, your brain's not really sharp. It's not going to do much. But a quick, short break every 20 minutes at the best and every 60 minutes at the longest is going to help you think and retain your information much better. Be on time to your classes. Be present in your classes, just like you would have to be present in a shift. You have to arrive and be where you're supposed to be. To the best of your ability, try to separate yourself from your phone. Monitor the amount you're on social media. Be actively engaged when somebody is speaking and when somebody's teaching. Ask yourself questions, take notes, ask yourself how you would use this. Do some quiet, silent breathing anytime you get stressed out or anytime that you are needing a little bit of calm. And then, very important, end of shift or end of day reflection is to start with what went well today. What am I proud of today? I always say, what did I do well? I start there, and then I end with what would I do differently, not what did I fail at. And then there's evidence that if you designate a gratitude practice and you actively consider 2 things a day that you're grateful for and why, it actually rewires your brain. You actually think differently if you can do that. So really important. Can't stress the importance of being rested, getting your sleep. Recognize your stress early. Don't wait until you've actually got a full-blown stomach ache or a full-blown headache. Actually notice the first cues. Take care of yourself every single day. Do something every single day to practice self-care. Listen to music. Take a short walk. Pet your animal. Water your plants. Taking care of yourself is probably the most important skill that you're going to need to develop as a nurse if you are going to stay in the profession of nursing. I try to do one thing each week that's new, and I don't always achieve it, but get a list of things, something new that you've never tried. Maybe listen to a type of music you don't normally listen to, or read a book or read a poem if you don't do that, or draw something if you don't normally do that. Watch some kind of a show that you don't normally watch. Call a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. Just try to bounce yourself out of your norms and try to give yourself a little bit of excitement. When you are thinking about taking care of yourself in the next, what is today? I can't ever keep track of time. I think it's Tuesday. So put in the chat one thing that you might be willing to do between now and next Tuesday to take care of yourself. What can be the smallest thing you can think of, but put in the chat one thing that you might be willing to do to de-stress or take care of yourself that doesn't have anything to do with anybody but you. So take time for myself to soak in the tub and relax or go for a walk in the woods. That makes me want to go home right now and take a bath. That's always very relaxing to me. Watch a movie. Take more breaks when studying. Read something for pleasure. Take a walk. So those are all really important awarenesses. And I would encourage you all in the next week to commit, just like you're going to commit to studying or you're going to commit to something that is a rule for you or something that you feel like you have to do. I would invite you to take care of yourself at least as well as you take care of others, or you take care of the person that you care the most about, or you take care of your patients. So I am going to put my name and my contact number into the chat box, and feel free to reach out and contact me if you need help with any resources, or just are interested in anything to do with meditation or mindfulness. I teach a class here, and I would be very happy to respond. And I'm very thankful that I've had the chance to talk to students. I love teaching. I love my nursing students. And I don't think a day has gone by in my entire life that I wasn't thankful that I chose nursing. I think nursing is a calling. It's a commitment. I believe it provides you with purpose and meaning every single day of your life. And take care of yourselves. Thank you very much.
Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Walmsley? No? Okay. Well, thank you, Leanne, for this helpful presentation, and we appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge and expertise on this topic with us. Thank you
You're very
so much.
welcome. I'm happy to come back and talk anytime.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Next up is Ryan Barrett online. Yeah, are you able to talk about the nursing scholarship portal?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good.
Feels like I just saw you a few days ago.
Yes.
So, yes, so it will be launching in a few days. The Kentucky Association of Nursing Students, we are putting out what's called the Nursing Excellence Portal. Sorry, I'm on the road. I'm actually driving back from Lexington right now. I was at several schools speaking about this, but I know something that I've heard time and time again from other nursing students is just, where did you see that scholarship? I didn't even know that existed. You know, and we get busy. We don't have time to sit and spend hours searching for scholarships only to find out we don't qualify for them. So this is the brainchild that came from that. And so when you go to our website, there will be a portal set up with links for one for scholarships and grants, one for nurse residency programs, another one for any other benefits that we are notified from CANS of, you know, like educational discounts, anything like that. So you don't have to go out and do the searching. It will be there with deadlines if we are told the amount of the scholarship, as well as a link to apply. The other thing that I would mention to everybody is that the Foundation for the National Student Nurses Association application, that scholarship is January 24th. The only requirement to apply for all of these scholarships is that you be a member of NSNA. And that is $40 for the year. You have a large member if your chapter doesn't have, if your school doesn't have a chapter. And it's a one-page application. You apply, you pay a $10 application fee, and then they take that application and apply you to every scholarship that is available for the year. And this is just something that I can't imagine how this has happened. But we had over $500,000 of scholarships from the National Student Nurses Association that were unclaimed this past year. And no one in the state of Kentucky even applied for one of the scholarships. So I would be happy to help any of you get that application done. If you want to set up a chapter, I am traveling the state between now and May. I would love to come talk to your school. And if you have anything that you need, this portal that I mentioned previously is available to all nursing students. I'd love to have you as a member, but it's not just restricted to members. It's open to every nursing student so that you can get through school, because I know firsthand, how expensive it is, how hard it is to make those ends meet, working and trying to take care of your family. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'll give you my cell phone number. I would type it in, but like I said, I'm driving. My cell phone number is area code 678-215-7755. Again, 678-215-7755. And then my email is president@ourkans.org. And again, it's president@ourkans.org. And I'll be glad to help you with anything that I can.
Anyone have any questions for Ryan? Okay, Ryan, can I ask you a question? Is this just for the Nursing Student Association scholarships, or can other organizations give you information about their scholarships and it be placed on the portal?
Oh, any organization.
Okay.
We are listing the KNA scholarships on there as well.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I've got UK has some scholarships, and any
Okay.
of I get emails often from like industry partners or other organizations that are offering a scholarship. So as soon as I receive those, I'm going to update those.
Okay.
So be sure to look at that. Maybe check it out once a month if you can, just to see, hey, is something new popped up.
Okay. Sounds awesome. This sounds like a really great resource for students. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sherry, are we ready to announce the winner of the gift card?
Okay. It landed on D. Crank. Is D. Crank here?
Okay, looks like they're here.
Are they here?
Yeah, he's got a
Okay.
message. I'm here in the chat box. So yeah,
Okay.
Okay. Congratulations, and we'll get that out into the mail and to you soon. Anyway, our next meeting will be in January. So like I said, we'll put that'll be on the KNA calendar, and we'll get an email out about it. But that's on the 21st. And we're going to talk about a member of the Governmental Affairs Cabinet will be talking about advocacy and sharing some details about Nurses Day at the Capitol. And then in March student meeting, Joanne Ray, who's our KNA president, we're just going to be talking about lifelong learning. And we've been talking about scholarships. So Kentucky Nurses Foundations do have nursing scholarships that are awarded each fall. So at the March meeting, we will have someone there to talk about those and go over those. So does anybody have any questions? or comments for any of us? Okay. Well, if you do have any, anybody needs any documentation that they participated in the meeting today, you can just email me and I will be glad to send you something. So I put my email address in the chat box. Okay. I guess that ends our session unless anybody has any last minute questions or comments. Thank you so much for participating in today's session with us. And we hope each one of you has a wonderful holiday season and hope we'll see you back in January. Thank you again for your attendance, and Sherry and Ryan and Leanne for sharing with us today. Thank you all.